Okey dokey, 10 o'clock, we will call this meeting to order. October 21st, 10 o'clock. First order of business, we have some minutes from the last meeting that are in your package. Take a quick peruse of those. Anything else?
Son of
Sam?
a gun. Oh, she was.
Just making sure.
I know. I was like, son of a gun, we didn't get her.
I was
back
here
on.
all the
You're
time.
here.
All right. Any comments on that? Anything we need to tweak there? Look like they're expertly prepared.
And just as a note, I did add that that was in the previous meeting.
Oh, right,
Computer
yeah,
glitch
right.
has been-
For the
My
record,
apologies
for the
again.
record, right?
So,
All right, can we get a motion to approve those?
So moved.
So move, second, somebody,
Second.
second? All in favor? Aye, opposed? All right, minutes, okay. So thanks very much for coming to this meeting on not short notice, but special meeting, I guess. So we have a single objective here today, which is to review the DDA TIF development plan. Kelly sent around the plan document along with some various tables and maps and what have you. So Kelly, maybe you can give us a little bit of a thumbnail, and then we can open things up for discussion as
So I know-
needed.
Yep,
Yeah.
so I know most of you kind of, I think, went through this process last year, as the tip was being developed for those of you that are new, and, part of the, getting the tip going in the DDA is this development plan. So this encompasses kind of the verbiage on what you foresee spending any potential tip revenues on. It goes through a lot of background. I did update this, from last year's plan, just so, it's current with, the wayfinding signage and some of the other things, parking and all that was in there. Changes from the plan previously, we did pull parking revenue out of the documents that, out of your cash flow, which is the one with the blue. That originally, my understanding last year did have parking revenue wrapped into this. and
Sure.
that. We just pulled it out, just, right? I don't wanna have that out there,
Yep,
for
yep,
that- for
yep,
that
yep,
program
yep,
standards.
yep.
So, pull that out, and basically what we did, and the county, Dan Petty at the county helped with this last year, and we kind of tweaked them for this year. We assume there's a high, a low, and a medium growth rate, in text-based growth rate. We just looked at the medium, the middle, my God, I can't talk this morning.
Yeah.
The median one, for all of our calculations, because,
So this is
yours
the-
could be
yeah.
better.
So this is a 2.5% increase,
2.5%,
which,
correct.
which is likely, well, I shouldn't say likely, which is potentially to be just the increase in the value of the properties, right?
Correct. Yep,
So we don't really have anything extraordinary in these estimates. They're pretty baseline, I guess I
Pretty
would
baseline.
probably call it.
there's nothing to do with any potential developments in
Right,
here.
that's
'cause we
right.
don't, again, I
That's
guess
more
I'm a little
speculative,
conservative on
right.
Estimates and things. But so going through the plan, how do we spend this money? I did meet with the resident advisory council yesterday.
Yeah.
We had a great conversation, got them kind of up to speed on all this and.
How many
really-
people did you end up getting on
And
that?
it was five.
Five,
Got
and
the
that's,
five,
okay.
still, I got some more names,
Mm.
for people that we can add
Mhm.
to this.
mhm.
Set at 9, we've got 4 open seats. But yeah, good conversation, they were on board, with everything, like I said, this is such a, I don't wanna say it's a shot in the dark, it's just, it's a,
right.
can we use this word, it's our best,
Sure.
our best,
And the reality is,
Yes.
these are just, I guess, kind of speculative in a way.
Yes.
Ultimately, if we want to use the funds for different activities in the
Yep.
DDA, we can.
correct.
So we're not kind of locked into specific timing or dollars or anything of that nature. Is that a
Well,
fair?
right.
fair
And
comment,
I think
yeah.
we need to follow this somewhat,
Sure,
but
sure.
until the numbers come in, we don't
Right.
know. Pulling parking out, last year's plan had the State Street redevelopment.
Sure,
for the
sure.
Broad and State. We pulled that out, focused more on things like parking, alley infrastructure, there's some public art, you can go through and see.
Yep,
You know, seasonal decor, and these numbers are over the lifetime, for 30-year lifetime.
right.
Parking lot infrastructure, $300,000. Operating supplies, $966. I need to look and see.
Yeah.
You know, that's things like general downtown maintenance and things
Sure.
like that. We have a staff person down there. Grant programs, that's another thing. So, you did the facade grant a couple years.
Right.
So the parking lot, that's just maintenance. That doesn't include rebuilding. Okay.
Correct.
I
And
just
all
wanted
this can be shifted. This is just
Okay.
kind of where we saw,
Yeah.
you know, going off of what the previous plan did, just kind of tweaking it down to more.
Yeah. So, you know, when I looked at this, I mean, the way I see this, in the absence of any significant development, this is a slow boat to China. I mean,
it's
in
not a
term,
huge
well,
amount of
right.
money.
So in terms of, building up, you know, significant reserves in dollars, again, in the absence of, you know, building, you know, significant economic and adding to the tax base, certainly you're going to accumulate money, but the reality is, if you're just getting, let's say, normal growth out of the valuations that are taxed every year, the amount of money that will build up is pretty, you know, it's pretty nominal, right? I mean,
I mean, the first year is $22,000.
Yeah, right,
But then
right.
you tie
So,
that into
yeah,
millage,
that's right.
you know,
that's right.
$22,000 goes a long way.
Sure.
You know, for
Sure.
something.
But in
Well,
terms
I
of,
think- Sorry.
I was going to say, in terms of doing something,
Like a whole. street.
yeah, right.
So-
In terms of doing something major, I think the driver of that is going to be, you know, it's like a chicken or the egg thing. It's a development that's going to potentially drive revenue that could potentially drive those kinds of activities, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay. All I
yeah.
was gonna say is that, you know, we have a relatively modest budget as it is.
Yes,
And-
absolutely.
And adding 22,000 to a relatively modest budget is
Well,
kind of significant.
we'll take it. Yeah,
Even
right.
though- yeah, even though
Right.
overall, we
True,
don't have,
True.
we're not gonna be repaving streets, you know, we're putting in bike racks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, right.
This will
That's right.
allow us to put in nicer bike racks.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fair comment.
Unless
Fair comment.
the situation changes. If
Yep.
there's development, which drives improvement in other property values, which, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But I think it's right that you took the, you know, the middle of the road. You
Yeah,
Also
kinda.
can't put in here things you don't know. And especially for the kind of work that this organization is doing, that's what you have to do. Because it is what it is until it changes.
And I think, you know, this is a pretty good estimate of what it
Sure.
could be.
Sure.
Again, if something comes in and raises it, you know, and again, I'm reiterating this in the public forum, not a new tax.
Right.
This is not
Right.
anything new,
Right.
it's just capturing some incremental
Yeah.
growth. So as property values increase, we pull that incremental growth, or our portions of that incremental growth off. So.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I know that's gonna be a misunderstanding.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great starting point. It's a good step in the right direction. I'm wondering if it would be beneficial in your panel tomorrow with the public to point out, had this been in place X number of years prior, what that revenue growth would look like today, just to kind of,
Yeah.
so people understand the
Mhm.
impact that this could have.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
See if
this,
I can pull those numbers together.
Wasn't, I've heard the numbers, was it
Andrew, I think,
Yeah.
is a
I-
good
I don't-
resource for him.
over I mean,
It's
we've heard it's a significant
amount of
number,
money
but I just
Mhm.
think that might
Would
be.
have been.
That would.
Yeah.
have
Well, you're
Yeah.
talking,
Building for the future.
it,
Right, yeah.
so we stopped this in 1986, right? So do the math, right? You
Is
got
that
four,
what it was?
yeah, well, that's what it says in here. It says
Oh, yes,
19,
okay.
it says December of 86, so that's 39 years ago. Let's assume it was a 30-year, maybe it would have had 20 years or 25 years. You know, you started in 81, went 5 years. Let's say you went 25, so that's 14, 2011, maybe you would have renewed it at that time if you were getting traction. Yeah, I mean, it's Not a small number, that's for
Right, the
sure.
DDA's budget in our downtown look significantly different.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
If you look at, everybody, I don't wanna compare it, because it's not necessarily apples to apples, but if you look at Traverse City, they've got a couple, TIF districts.
Yeah.
And I believe, don't quote me on this, they're either renewing or going for a third, the stuff that's happening downtown Traverse City.
Sure.
now is Incredible.
Yeah, right.
I saw it firsthand when I was up there for an MBA meeting, and
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah.
that's all TIF.
Yeah,
It's
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well,
an
it's-
opportunity,
It would change the scope of projects that we look
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Not in our lifetime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our successors are gonna have a great.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
grandchildren,
right.
our grandchildren maybe, but
Mhm.
still.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it's
not
not
sure I see the
saying-
end of the,
It's not, well, let's hope so. It's not saying this doesn't help you guys lay the groundwork.
Yeah.
for
Right,
those
that's
future
right,
plans,
that's right.
However long anybody's here, on the DDA, I don't
Yeah.
think here.
yeah, right,
Um,
on this earth kind of thing. Is
I'm
that
not
what
sure,
you're?
yeah, you're all gonna hear me, but I'm just saying, like, it really helps you kind of, set that
Sure.
groundwork. And to me, it's exciting. The more we talk about kind of the possibilities, I get kind of excited, like, like, some of the stuff people talk about, like new benches and maybe bring back public art. I don't know. Whatever's decided, this gives us a little bit more to it. So, but, if there's anything glaring that you're like, what the heck, I can hopefully explain it.
I want to say two things. One is when you're on a board like this, we didn't inherit this from our predecessors. We're borrowing it from our successors. So it's important for us to set up our successors for much, much more success. The other is that I want to say it out loud. You said it, but I think we want to make sure it gets into the minutes. This is not new taxes. There are no new taxes that will be charged to anyone as a result of what's going on here, assuming, it moves forward and gets approved.
Fair comments. What else?
Somebody else could say there's no new taxes too.
Yeah, we-
It is, and it's.
Well, it's an important
it is.
concept because the minute somebody hears, kind of the tax
It's
word,
confusing.
everybody gets sick of it. And this is the mechanics of this take a little, you got to kind of think through it a bit.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
I have overthought this so much.
Yeah, right,
I've
that's right.
confused myself. I've like gone full circle. I'm
That's
like,
right,
No,
yeah.
and then I'm like, no, I got it. So it's a very dense concept.
Yeah.
And it's hard, it's kind of hard to explain. So
Sure.
that's why we're having an open house tomorrow night.
Sure. No, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yep.
just high level stuff, but so if any of you wanna come, I would encourage you to be here, just to answer questions of the public and whomever.
Yep.
We're gonna
What time
record the
is that?
presentation. Inform us.
6.
I remember seeing it, but I didn't.
Okay, any other, I don't know, comments, questions, discussion, before we move it?
Well, I would always have my,
Please,
picky things that I want to, talk about.
sure,
And, on the first page.
Yeah.
One of the things that's very complicated about our zoning ordinance and other documents we have in the city is we keep always talking about, if you don't understand what the ordinance says, let me give you an example. And then we waste 3 paragraphs on what, examples are, and that's, on the third paragraph here, after the initial, the DDA, paragraph, and then down there it says, for example, if the DDA. If this is the ordinance, do any of you need an example in the ordinance that says why you're doing the ordinance? Because I think those are superfluous things that we include and have historically. I mean, this is not new to this document. It's throughout. So those are the kinds of things I'd like to strike. And then also on page 8, I think we have I'd like to suggest that on page 8, section 217.2, I guess that's an F, where we're attaching a copy of the future land use plan to identify what the open space is. And that's not a very good plan as it relates to what the open space is. If you look at the corner up at the intersection of Silver Beach and the channel, We've already got the Curious Kids Museum there, we've got the fountain there, we've got the condos there. We've got a whole bunch of things there that are green, okay? And the response to this table is that show us what you're gonna keep as open space. I think it would be much easier, and I can work with Kelly on this because I've got other little things that are just glitches. It'd be better to sit there and say, we're gonna protect the parks that the parks and open space that exist, we're gonna protect in this plan. And if in fact we revise them, we'll replace them. But this map is just it's just not a good it's a convenient attachment, but it's not a good attachment. I'd rather satisfy that requirement with words rather than with the map. And then my last thing, and I continue to apologize for this. Before we adopt a TIF district for the DDA, I would once again like to suggest that we correct the DDA map, because the DDA map that we have is not correct. And then so therefore, before we adopt it and before we use the legal description that's there, we should probably, correct that. And then as a new item that I hadn't thought about before until I looked at this in relationship to the TIF district, is that we might want to consider expanding the DDA, down the bluff to Vine Street and include Vine Street and Silver Beach Pizza, because we own Silver Beach Pizza. Now we're tied up to a lease, and it's a better lease than it was. It might be able to get better, but there's no reason to not have the TIF district cover the bluff and any improvements we want on the bluff. We might want to do it, we might want to do a better switchback walk. We might want to do the parking on Vine Street. We might want to, even in cooperation with the Silver Beach expansion, again, as outlandish as an elevator is. And so again, why not just include that in the DDA? And then obviously pick up the glitches, because Connie Bear's office should all be in the, Connie Bear's old office should obviously be in the TIF district. And I think the parking lot of the historic hotel should also be in the TIF district. And so a number of those things I think I can wordsmith, but I can do that with Kelly. I don't have to bore you with all the other.
All right,
So-
so,
things.
yeah,
If I may respond, we did send the legal district, the northwest corner, like
Yeah.
all the legal stuff to Elizabeth, our GIS girl, and she redrew it.
Oh, good.
It's not real different, but there might have been some parcel splits and things like that, and I just have not had a chance to work with her quite yet on that. It is being looked at because you brought it up and we were like, but how the legal description stands of the district right now is this. I think this is the most current one.
so this map you have in here is the latest, is the
I believe,
accurate.
yes. If this is not the latest one, I mean, it is a minute, change, if
So,
anything.
but I mean, I would, if we wanted to change, if we wanted to expand the district or add different things, that's a whole
I would
process.
have to talk to Lori.
That's a
on
whole
how to-
process,
how we
I
do that.
assume.
We expanded the district once while I've been on the DDA, and it requires 2 public meetings.
Yeah,
Well, I
okay.
think it's a process. I don't think it's just a.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
It-
right,
it-
right, right,
It's
right,
not just a
right,
drawing
right.
change,
Because
it's a
we-
process.
When I first got on the Whitcomb wasn't part of the DDA, and we captured it. And I'm pretty sure we talked about going down to, and I don't remember what the rationale was, but it was in the last 10 years about going down to Vine, because I agree, that should definitely. be
Yeah.
in the DDA.
So the question is, for the sake of argument, we approve this plan today, and at a later date, we adjust the DDA district, we'd probably have to modify the TIF,
I would assume,
yeah,
yes.
right.
'Cause
Which-
it would be
legally, that's
captured in
probably
that
the
too.
Which would
Yeah,
make
the
sense, so,
Yeah.
so I think the thinking is, let's get this in place.
And to
And
your
then,
point, Chris,
and then I
agree.
think the ideas about expanding the district, I think are good ideas, yeah.
Yep, I want it to be right,
Yeah.
so that's why, with moving forward,
Yeah.
I just don't know that.
Oh,
We have to see when those parcels were split, and I just haven't had a chance to do that yet. But this plan is, as,
matches this,
yes,
the map, okay,
yes.
that's the current map, okay.
Well, and if you remember, we did extend the social district down the bluff to include Silver Beach
Sure.
after we had it.
Sure.
We amended that plan, so.
No, I think it's a good discussion to think about expanding it. We can pick that up at a
So am I
future meeting.
correct that, Chris, your suggestion is to strike this paragraph with the example? in
Yeah,
it?
I don't think I just don't think you need it. That's what, but that's a personal opinion, but it's not.
If this is an ordinance, I would agree with that.
This is an
Well-
ordinance,
This
right?
is an
If
ordinance.
it's an ordinance, I would agree.
I'm,
Because
I'm indifferent, but I don't, you know,
Having said that, I'm with you, Tom. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Tom, I can be
I mean,
with
yeah,
or-
yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know that,
Generally, they're very.
Yeah,
straightforward.
that's right.
But
I
I'm
agree
fine
with you
with
guys. I mean,
I mean, this document is a plan.
yeah,
Okay,
This
but
isn't
we're gonna be asked to approve
the
this.
plan.
plan,
The ordinance, so this isn't the wording of the actual. ordinance.
No,
Okay.
no.
this
'cause
is just explaining kind of what, this is the document that we need to provide with all of the numbers and stuff, kind of explaining.
So,
the
yeah,
verbiage of what
so
we're-
in essence, we're gonna approve this. We're gonna recommend to the city commission that they formally adopt
Adopt
the
this, yeah.
TIF district as we've outlined it.
Yes,
Okay,
whatever you guys think.
what else? Anything else need to kick around here?
And if you do approve this, today I'm gonna take it to Commission Monday,
Yep,
so.
okay. Right. Can we get any other comments, questions? No? Can we get a motion to approve the plan?
So moved.
So moved, thank you.
I'll second.
Second. Hey, any other discussion
So I'm approving it as
as written?
written.
As written.
presented.
Any other comments? I don't know, public comments, comment, do you have any?
I do have a question.
Sure.
This goes beyond Zoom,
It is,
It's recording.
maybe recording, but it's, anything anybody finds so far.
oh,
I mean, I'm not looking at it.
It was
I
posted.
have 4 of my neighbors that have, there's no Zoom number designation.
Oh. I wish I would have known that prior to now.
Well, I just don't know.
Hold on, let's see, yeah.
Everybody remember what you said.
yeah, so I'd say we'll go, yeah,
Well, it's recording.
it's recording.
But there's
But
not
they
like
don't,
a
they don't
meeting
have the
number.
link, it sounds like.
Shoot.
Yeah, so
Did
it
it not
might be there,
post?
but they just don't have the link.
There's no meeting number.
Yeah.
I will post this as soon, I'll have her post this as soon as it's done. I apologize, I didn't know it wasn't.
There's a few of the previous ones that aren't posted.
Okay, I will see what's going on with that. Thank you.
All right. Okay, any other comments? So we have a motion on the floor to approve the plan. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No? Any abstentions? No. All right, motion carries.
Thank you.
Very good. Since we have a very short agenda today,
very
we'll,
short
we will,
agenda,
we will,
yes.
we will leave it at that. Any other comments from the board, this juncture? Next meetings, let's just make sure we're clear on next meeting.
On the 17th.
17th of November.
Yep.
And then December 8th, I
Correct.
believe. So
Yep.
mark those on your calendar, 8:30 on those are Mondays, bright and early. Very
Thank
good.
you for
No.
working with this kind of crazy schedule on doing this.
Well, thank you for all your hard work in getting this all pulled together. I think it's an exciting thing. I think it's very exciting. So,
A lot of fun stuff happening
All right.
downtown, so.
and we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved, right? I'll move it myself. Very good. We'll call it a day. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, everyone. I know it's, everyone's got busy schedules, so